Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to another edition of Hobby Evolution, episode 391. We already have a live chat, a busy chat. Dan, Brad, George, morning, guys. Talking about hoodie weather, and is really been unseasonably warm here in Wisconsin. I mowed on Monday evening, and I think that caused my allergies to. I'm still kind of congested. I was dealing with a brutal headache yesterday. In fact, I took Excedrin. I rarely take anything if I have a headache or, allergies. Allergy medication stuff just never works for me. But I was battling a severe headache, and I'm pretty sure it was caused from mowing the grass on Monday. Took some Excedrin in the afternoon and felt much better. Wife and I met up with another couple. We did bar trivia. I've only done bar trivia twice in the last year and a half since COVID. So it was nice to do some bar trivia. Finished fifth out of 17 teams, which is okay. There was just a group of four of us. A lot of other teams had eight. I think one team had 10. Um, so respectable. What's up, Jeremy? Good morning. One of the questions, we saved the 5-point question for the baseball category. Okay. No Googling. See if you can answer this. The only player, and I bet Dan and George can get this. The only player to be named, and I think it was MVP of the Japanese World Series and the World Series. I think that's how the question goes, and I might be butchering it, but it was in that context. So there's only one player that was named MVP of the World Series and MVP in Japan. Do you guys know? So that was a question we missed. I will tell you, it's not Scott Brocious. I don't even know if he played. He seemed like a player. Dan nailed it. You got it. Hideki Matsui was the answer. So we were thinking, um, we were thinking it was an American that went to Japan. We were not, we thought it would be too obvious. Brad, actually, that we joked and we're like Tom Selleck. So we thought, I bet it's kind of a tricky one where it's not everybody, but it's actually an American that went to Japan, which we were incorrect. So our guess, I think, was Scott Brocious. Other names lost out. Now it was just my friend Dave and I. Our wives didn't, aren't real baseball fans. So we were throwing out names. Darryl Strawberry was a name that came up. I don't know if he played in Japan, but he seemed like a player that may have gone overseas. Uh, Now in hindsight, one name that I should have thought of last night, I didn't think of, was Tuffy Rhodes. Didn't Tuffy Rhodes have like an amazing career in Japan or Korea? But I didn't think of that name. That would have been a good name to throw out there. It would have been wrong, obviously, but yeah, Hideki Matsui. So Brad says, "Are you sure it is not because you're banging your head against the wall of the eBay engine?" It could be. It could be. RELAX. The title is Keeping a Positive Mindset. RELAX. And after I published that, I'm thinking, because that's the Aaron Rodgers thing, and we're coming off the Aaron Rodgers talking smack to the Bears fans I think is kind of funny. I mean, he does own the Bears. I mean, it's true. It sucks that he tells us that as Bears fans, but it's true. And then I realize I'm wearing a green sweater. I swear I'm not a Packers fan in hiding. I'm Go Bears. I like Aaron Rodgers though. I think I like his personality, and he's a great football player. I just hate that he beats the Bears every freaking time. So RELAX, stealing that line from Aaron Rodgers, despite being a diehard Bears fan. That's the topic for today. Rhodes did have a great career there, but I don't know if he won a Japanese World Series MVP. Yeah, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't win a World Series. I was So my thought process for that question was World Series MVPs, and the only World Series MVPs that I can think of off the top of my head was obviously Ben Zobrist, um, and I think Scott Brosius was an MVP of the World Series in one of those '90s Yankees runs. Um, but I really couldn't thinking maybe Craig Counsell. And my thought process with Craig Counsell was I remember him having a big hit in the World Series for the Marlins in 1997. And he's the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. And here we are. In with I thought maybe that was the tie-in. So Craig Counsell and Scott Brosius were the two, the first two players that were kind of top of mind. Um, if you thought of a Japanese player first, you might have been able to come up with Matsui. You know, and I would not have thought Matsui. Like when the answer was read, sometimes when we're at trivia, it's like when they read the answer, it's like, oh, I should have thought Matsui was not even like it's like, oh, I never would have thought of Hideki Matsui. So I didn't even feel bad for losing, for not getting the question correct. Where sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I should have known. But it wasn't. Matsui was not even on my radar, so I don't feel bad. Now, so if it would have been Craig Counsell and I put in Scott Brosius, then I would have been hitting myself thinking, oh my God, why didn't I put Counsell instead? What's up, Jenny? Good morning. Um, so I was battling a headache yesterday, but I stormed through it. Did a bunch of shipping. My day was a little less structured yesterday because I had so much shipping. I was also going through those bulk boxes that I bought. Madison Card Show is coming up this weekend, so I was kind of sorting what am I going to put in the quarter box, what am I going to put in my eBay store, and what's just going to go in random common boxes. So I was doing some of that after I recorded yesterday morning, and then hammered some shipping. And then I had some time in the evening after took the dog for a walk, and then I ended up putting like 75 items in my eBay store on a file exchange update. Just kind of hammered it out. And what I did, it was kind of one of those things where it wasn't like I wasn't doing all of the tasks in one sitting. I took a bunch of the photos and it was 75, so it only took me like 15 minutes. And then I was just updating. I was uploading the photos. I was cleaning the coffee maker. By the way, my coffee was much quicker this morning, and it's tasty. Those calcium deposits out of there. So I was cleaning the coffee maker, and as I was doing that, in between, I was uploading to Image Shack. Took the dog for a walk, and if the dog wanted to sniff a little longer, I boom hit an upload and probably uploaded 10 images while I was walking the dog. So then I got back to the house and I hammered out 75 in file exchange, did the upload, and then after trivia, I brought up my stack of Jordan Poole rookie cards because he's hot. How hot? How hot is he? He's so hot that every card I listed of Jordan Poole sold overnight. That's how hot Jordan Poole is right now. So I had out of my stack, I think I listed 6 different Jordan Poole rookies. I had a mosaic pink prism that sold. I had 3 rated rookies, all 3 sold. I don't think my Prism draft picks sold. I think I sold 2 of the 8 that were listed. But then 2 other cards, all of those sold. So like 90% of my Jordan Poole stash sold within hours. I probably underpriced it, but I paid 10 cents for these. And the pink sold for $10. I think the rated rookie sold for like $3.50, and some of the others sold for $2.50. So some must have sold after 11 p.m. They did. I think all of them did actually. I went to bed at like 10:15, and none of them had sold yet. I had some watchers right away on the pink, but yeah, everything sold after midnight. So I still have some. I have some of the like lesser, like the Panini Chronicles type rookies, which I'll probably put in for like $2. And I think they might sell. Not probably not as fast as like the mosaics and the rated rookies, since those are a little more, people want those more than the Chronicles type. So so that's fun. It was the opening night of NBA last night, so I was enjoying that. I was watching. Who would have thought? Here, me being a Cubs fan, and the Cubs kind of stinking the last couple of years. Here I am watching NBA pregame show instead of playoff baseball. Um, I think there was a game on last night, right, for baseball playoffs, Braves and Dodgers. So I'm still rooting for the Braves. I'm just really not watching baseball. I'm not too interested um, in the baseball playoffs. So I am interested in. Okay, so I'm not representing the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. It's Milwaukee Bucks. They won their game last night against the Brooklyn Nets. They unveiled the championship banner at Pfizer Forum last night, and they beat the Kyrie Irvingless Brooklyn Nets. So I watched. Game obviously was on at the bar last night for trivia. Um, Watched the pregame show. I love Charles Barkley. I love Shaq. Ernie and Kenny are a great compliment to those two as straight men. So it was so I enjoyed watching that, and I think there's a bigger slate of games tonight. Now, I will say part of why I'm paying closer attention to the NBA is because I have like 10,000 basketball rookies from the last couple of years that I'm just like, okay, who's going to break out? Who's going to be the breakout player? We've seen Jordan Poole got hot during the preseason. He's stepping in the absence of Klay Thompson for the Golden State Warriors. So who's next? Who else is going to step up and have a big game? What's up, Zach? Good morning. Mavericks kick off Thursday night. So yeah, there's some guys that I'm paying closer attention to just because I have stacks of rookie cards. So I sorted. I had a 5,000 count box that I sorted last weekend, and I was going through some boxes the other day, and I came across a 4-row box, more basketball rookies, and it's like, oh, I forgot I had these because there's Prism Colors and Prism, and I thought I had more Prism basketball rookies, and I found them. So that's good. So I think I'll just kind of sit on them, and we'll see. Stacks of Luca rookies. No, none of the high end. No Lucas, no Zions, no Jaws, and also they're newer than Lucas. So they're within. Most of my rookies are the 2018, 2019, and 2020. So the Zion Jock class without the Zion and Jaws, the class before them and the class after them, which would have been last year with Obi Toppin, Denny Avdia, some of those guys. RJ Barrett, yeah, I've got a bunch of RJ Barretts, some of those players. Kendrick Nunn, Eric Paschal, Matisse Taibuli, a lot of those. Dumbuya, some of those players. Card collecting addict, good morning. So I did play something else I did yesterday. I played around with StreamYard and trying to do like a shared screen because I'd like to do some videos. I don't know when I'm gonna do those because it's gonna take me a little while, and that's something, Brad, you and I may have to talk about. I know you're versed in StreamYard and screen sharing, so I was just playing around with it for the first time yesterday afternoon because that's something that I've had a lot of questions, and I love answering those questions, and I love doing, the tutorials and the how-tos, and so I want to do a little more streamlined video, so you don't have to listen to me ramble during this long-form video series. So I can do something, a little quicker and kind of a step-by-step process. What is up, Herman? Good morning. So the topic is today keeping a positive mindset. I've got to relax. I'm too I'm wound too tight right now, and I knew this was going to be the case. Going into a full-time self-employment, I prepared for this, but I need to remember that. So, and what I'm talking about is Rome wasn't built in a day. Um, I have some good momentum just from the side hustle of selling on eBay, especially over the last year and a half, where I've really pushed the eBay store. So I've got some momentum. So it's not like I'm starting from zero. Um, but and I prepared. I had over a month's worth of paid time off that was paid out. My last paycheck, so I have that cushion for bills, um, and it gives me time. And plus, I squirreled away a lot of money that I made from eBay as kind of a safety net. But I don't want to use it. I don't want to use that safety net. I want to hit the ground running, and I want to make money right away. And I knew that wasn't going to be the case, and I just need to relax. And I think I'm stressing myself out too much because by design to go in with that mindset that this is, I can't take a day off. I can't, I have to, as Brad says, feed the beast. I have to do that on a daily basis because that's what's going to pay the bills. That's what's bringing in money. Um, Sorting cards is a part of that, but I've got to remember, as much as I can get listed on eBay, and the quicker and the faster I can get cards listed on eBay, that's goal number one. That's what I got to focus on because that's what's going to bring in the bread. That's what's going to make me money, and that's got to be focus number one, especially starting out, because this is how I make a living. So I've got to focus on pumping that eBay store, getting those file exchange updates, trying, I realized within 30 minutes that this is not going to work because the process is taking too long. I'm not going to enter in enough cards into my eBay store, which is going to lead to less sales, less money, and I need to focus on streamlining that effort. So within 30 minutes, I realized I'm going to have to buy that scanner. Thanks to Frank, he showed me, hey, and he showed me the numbers. This is how much faster it is. So that I think tomorrow it will be delivered. So hopefully this weekend I'll be pretty busy Friday, Saturday with the Madison card show, but I can play around with it. And next week Monday I can really hit the ground running and boom, scan, 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 and get thousands and thousands of cards listed in the eBay store because that's number one, making money. Because this is how I have to make a living now. And I say have to make a living, it's by choice. So I've got to keep that in mind. But I didn't want one day too, like, oh hey, I'm working from home. I can take an hour off. And I've actually worked harder in the last few days than I feel like I had at my previous job. So which is good because this is how I have to live. But I think I am taking it maybe a step too far where I do need to pump the brakes a little bit. But I don't want to do that just yet. You know, let's get 2 weeks under the belt and then see how it goes. But right now, I just need to go 110 miles per hour because I don't want to, I don't want to rest on my laurels, if that makes sense. So that's where my mindset is. And, it can get frustrating because we are in a slow time in the hobby. Sales are down. Um, but I've added how many items? Probably 300, over 300 items this week, which my goal was 500. My goal was 500 on Monday. I didn't hit that. And I didn't hit that because I didn't take into account how long it took with the whole photo process. So that is going to be fixed with the scanner. So moving forward, we won't have to deal with that. But I want to get, I think bare minimum 50 cards per day, because I can hammer out 50 cards in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So that's kind of the bare minimum, 50 cards listed per day. After I hammered out, 75 plus the Jordan pools last night, that's, I mean, it felt like barely any work getting those. It's just going to get those cards, pulled. Okay, this is the 50 I want to list, or this is the 100 I want to list. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm taking as far as pumping the eBay store, getting those items in, because, and I say bare minimum of 50. My average sales per day over the last month, 2 months, is hovering around 38 sales per day. So bare minimum, I have to hit 38 sales. Otherwise, my store inventory keeps declining. And guess what happens when your inventory declines? Your income declines. So that's, bare minimum, I want 50, because I want to keep that number ticking up. Because as that store inventory number ticks up, guess what? Your sales tick up as well. So that's the goal. Keep above, and that 50 minimum is not going to be, is not always going to be there. It's going to be 55, and then it's going to be 60, because eventually the more inventory, the more sales, and that 38 sales per day is going to become 48 sales per day and 58 sales per day. And at the peak back in February, I was making like 78 sales per day. So, and that was as a side hustle. So I know what's within my boundaries, and I have a long way to go to get back, because our the sales have been cut in half. We've seen it with the impressions and all the analytics on eBay, and it's trickled down to my sales turnover went from 2% in February to 1% now, and with the impressions went from what 7.5 million in the month of February to 3.8 million in the month of September. So just trying to keep all that in mind. Jenny says, give yourself a couple days off on the calendar in 2 weeks, and that might help you with working hard now and knowing a day off is coming up to take a breath. That's a great piece of advice. I love that. Because right now it's kind of a double whammy, because I'm preparing for the Madison card show. That's this Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. We're up to 53 tables, which is, the room is set up for 50, but I know I can squeeze a few more tables in. So the the I going back to like April when we had 19 tables, it's like, in this huge space, and I would have loved to be at the point back then where it's like, where I'm telling the manager, the catering manager, put as many tables as you can in that room. And so that's what I was able to tell her on Friday when we met. And I'm like, well, I'm at 47 confirmed tables right now on Friday. Um, uh, what can we fit in? And she set it up for 50. And I had, I think, 48 last month, and I know there was room for 7 or 8 more tables, so we can pack more in. Um, so yeah, so getting prepared for that. We're at 53 confirmed tables. Mike is with me. What's up, Mike? I'll see Mike on Saturday. Show is going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Brad. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So I'm at 53, and I've had a couple people, kind of ask, and they're like, well, I'll let you know later. And I'm like, well, I may have to turn some, especially now we're already at Wednesday. I'm comfortable with like 2 more, but anything over 55 at this point, just a couple days away, I will. If I get more than 55, I'll turn those away, because we have the option to use the hallway. But if I'm at, say, 58 tables and I can only squeeze in 55, and if I would have to put 3 tables out in the hallway, I don't want to do that. So I want to avoid. Would it be nice to get, I don't want to separate the show. I want it to be all in one room. But hey, if I'm at 55 max and I have 70 people or 70 tables, I'll use the space outside, because 15 tables is okay. Plus, the way the hotel is set up where we're at, you have to walk through that area just to get into the ballroom where the show is anyway. So it's not like you're walking into the main ballroom and then there's a room on the side. It's, you have to walk through the lounge area to get to the ballroom. So that would actually be the first place you would walk into. So looking forward to Saturday. So that's what I had for today. RELAX. That's what I need to do at some point. I'm just not ready right now. And I think I'm a little more high strung this week because it is the first full week and the card show is coming up. It's the biggest card show that we've had to date. So there might be a little stress, but I think it's less stress than what if I was sitting in the office thinking about it. And I can, now it's Friday afternoon. I don't have to take time away from work or use my lunch to go to the venue to put out name tags and all that stuff. I can just step away from my card room office and head over to the venue and get things straightened up and make sure everything is ready to go. And then that leads to less stress on Saturday morning where I'm not hustling to get to the venue before, because some of the other vendors get there super early and I'm trying to bring in my load of cards and get my stuff set up. And there were times where I was still setting up at 9 a.m. when the show started because I was so busy running around, moving tables and all that. So it is good. Can't stress it. It is what it is and will be no matter how you respond. Just breathe. That's great advice, Jenny. Thank you so much. So that's what I had for today. Brad, are you going live this morning? If you're doing a show tonight, if you're going live this morning, let me know. Type it in the chat. There's a breath. Okay. A lot on my mind this morning. What else? I am. No show tonight. Okay, awesome. So Brad's going to be going live on his channel, Texas Card Dude, in a little bit. I don't know if Brad, if you're going to touch on Upper Deck. I'm not going to touch on the Upper Deck news because I don't do hockey. I just read the press release, but there's some production constraints. So Upper Deck is, I think, canceling 2 releases this year, and they're pushing back, I think, the Series 1 maybe. Brad will likely tell you more on his show. I do know Topps has pushed back several releases. Hopefully they don't push back Heritage Miners because I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be my break, Jenny. That'll be my break. That's what I'll kind of I'll set aside for my relax day, release day for Heritage Miners. When it's on my doorstep, I can and of course my mindset's going to be I've got to rip and flip as fast as I can, but I'll try to make it a fun day ripping Heritage Miners. I got 2 cases coming, so I'm looking forward to that. My scanner should be in the mail tomorrow, should be delivered tomorrow. What else is going on? If anyone knows of an affordable card printer cutter, please let me know. I cannot help you there, but I'm sure somebody does know someone. So yeah, Heritage Miners, hoping it doesn't get pushed back because several other Topps releases have been pushed back. And that's another reason why I wanted to leave my former job. I supply chain, and the supply chain is an absolute disaster right now. And it seems to be just getting worse. There's backups at the ports. And it's affecting the entire supply chain, and it's affecting the printers, which you're seeing with delays in baseball card releases and now cancellations because they just can't get them printed in time. So it's just an absolute disaster in the supply chain. Herman says they pushed back Update. Looking forward to seeing the new black gold inserts. Yeah, Update was one of the products that was pushed back. What else? WWE Heritage was pushed back because that's a product I'm considering getting in on. Brad asks, are you buying a case? I am not buying a case, Brad. I'm buying 2 cases. I pre-ordered 2 cases of Heritage Miners. So hopefully they will be on my doorstep on release day. I ordered them from Blowout, and typically I receive my orders from Blowout on release day. So they're on my doorstep release day afternoon. DR just got on the stream. I love Bo channeling his inner Aaron Rodgers in the title. Yeah, and I even wore green, which I didn't realize until after I published the video. Uh, I'm stealing Aaron Rodgers' line, and I talked about it at the beginning of the video. I like Aaron Rodgers. I think his personality is great. I respect him as a football player. I just hate the fact that he freaking beats my Bears every time. And I like the trash talk. As a Bears fan, I don't like it, but as just a fan of sports and how passionate he is, I love it. So I got to give Aaron Rodgers credit where it's due, and it's due in that regard. And so I'm not wearing the green, channeling my inner Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. This is, and I just made this up on the fly. This is my Milwaukee Bucks uh, opening night win over the Nets last night. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Check out Brad's channel, Texas Card Dude. He'll be going live in a little bit. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll chat tomorrow.